This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Dead Space 2, in stores now. Coming up on Destructoid, zombie monkeys and android telephones, Max Anarchy, I demand some royalties for using my name, and would you like a refund for your copy of Black Ops? Also, video games came out this week, and Nick Chester made a short film about this. All this and more coming up on Destructoid.
Welcome everybody to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Right off the bat, I want to thank you guys for tuning into our live taping of the show on Monday. I'm sorry there weren't any wardrobe mishaps. Maybe next time I can convince Max to wear something a little bit sluttier. In the meantime, we've got a lot of good feedback about it. We're going to try to make this like a monthly, semi-monthly thing. I don't know. We had a lot of fun. We hope you guys did too. But at the same time, it feels pretty good to be back to the regular format.
Speak for yourself. I want a beer. But first, Nick Chester's got some releases of the week for us. Take it away, Nicholas.
For the kids, Visceral Games is back and scaring the piss out of players in Dead Space 2, this time with even bigger scares and online multiplayer.
Isaac, you're still alive. I keep seeing the symbols. Do you see the symbols?
Topware is hoping you forgot about its subpar RPG Two Worlds, because it promises that Two Worlds 2 isn't a steaming mountain of poo. You'll find out this week when the game hits Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. If Mario Kart featured women who could kick your ass and drink you under the table, it might be a little like Jam City Roller Girls for WiiWare, which is available today. And thank God Paws and Claws Marine Rescue is finally out for the Nintendo DS, filling my deep need for treating marine animals like penguins and dolphins and seals and baby polar bears. Have you ever heard a baby polar bear with a cough before? Every Monday on Destructoid.com, Hamza Aziz brings you a full list of the week's releases. And ladies, he's never wearing any underwear.
Thanks, Nick. And now for some news. Activision dropped a trailer for the Call of Duty Black Ops DLC pack that's coming out next Tuesday. The pack consists of 5 new maps ranging from an Arctic outpost to a ding-dang hockey stadium. But get this, it's got spooky zombie monkeys. And there's a hovercraft thing. It's going to be out on Xbox Live next Tuesday on February 1st for 1,200 Microsoft points. That is $15 American. In other Black Ops news, industry analyst Michael Pachter recently slammed the organization Gamers Voice. Gamers Voice made some headlines recently when they filed formal complaint with Activision over the technical issues in Black Ops and the PC and PS3 versions. Pachter, whose actual job duties I'm still very unclear about, was quoted saying, "All games are buggy. I suppose this helps to explain why the game sold only 20 million copies instead of 25 million, and why it received only a 90 Metacritic rating instead of a 95. Sarcasm intended in case you didn't pick up on it. If people don't like it, they can take it back to retail for a refund. Most bugs are patched within a reasonable amount of time, and any serious gamer expects bugs." He even went so far as to call the group crybabies. Gamers Voice scoffed a retort at Pachter's remarks and accused him of being on the corporate side of the industry. Pachter's statements are genuinely obnoxious and make him sound more of an anus than an analist, but the complaints made by Gamers Voice sound petty as hell. This issue does raise a pretty good debate. How buggy does a game have to be deemed defective, and at what point should the manufacturer be held responsible? If a physical product is broken, you can usually get a refund, but with a piece of software that has no physical form, it's a little bit harder to gauge when something's genuinely defective. Do you own any games that are so glitchy you want your money back? Discuss amongst yourselves.
Expect to see a lot of Fallout New Vegas in the comments.
Oh, Tara, you're so sassy, and 3 months ago.
I'm so, shut up. Okay, so I've been covering this news story about Kongregate gaming app for Android. It came out last week and then it got taken down by Google and now it's back up and hopefully it's here to stay. And quite frankly, I'm sick of talking about it. So let's move on to some news that's actually new, shall we? Platnium Games, the creators of Vanquish and Bayonetta, have announced a new title. It's called MAX ANARCHY and it's going to be Platinum's first online multiplayer combat game. Word on the street is it may be related to Mad World, one of Platinum's 2009 titles. Famitsu magazine recently released some screenshots of the game showing players battling it out with torches and chainsaws. And also featured was Jack, the main character from Mad World, making an appearance as a playable character. Sega's going to be releasing this title in Japan sometime in the next year for Xbox 360 and PS3, but there's no word yet on a North American release date. And with that, why don't we take it over to Max to give a word from our lovely sponsor today.
I think that can be arranged. In Dead Space 2, one of our most anticipated games of the year, Isaac Clarke returns for another adventure. After waking up from a coma on the space city The Sprawl, Isaac finds himself faced with a catastrophic new nightmare. Equipped with a new arsenal of tools to dismember the necromorphs, including the awesome javelin gun which Tara mentioned on Monday's show, Isaac will have to face the challenge head-on. New to the sequel is the ability to fire up Isaac's suit boosters to rocket around in zero gravity. You can explore the depths of the Sprawl and encounter new weightless combat and physics-based puzzles with full 360-degree movement. And for the first time, you can experience the horror of a necromorph outbreak with others, fight in skirmishes around the Sprawl, and strategically dismember your friends in online multiplayer gameplay. And if you're anything like me, play the game with the lights on in the middle of the day, with your girlfriend constantly reminding you that it's all just a game, or face the consequences of wetted undergarments. Dead Space 2, in stores now.
And in fact, our own Max Scoville got a chance to play around with the Dead Space 2 back at the Destructoid house yesterday. And based on his reaction, I think he liked it. Take a look.
I don't... Ah! This is foul! This is so gross! There's filthy babies fighting me. They bit me in the neck. Oh, good lord! He's just a child! Oh, come on. Ah! What is that?
Well, in my defense, I just had a liter of cola and I was feeling rather shaky. That's what the problem was.
Okay, Max. All right. Well, while we're on the subject of Dead Space 2, the game just came out yesterday, and EA has already announced a new DLC pack for it called Severed. It contains 2 additional single-player chapters in which you play as Gabe Weller alongside Lexine Murdoch, 2 of the characters from Dead Space Extraction, which, if you bought the collector's edition of Dead Space 2 for the PS3, you should have gotten for free with it. There's no word on a price or date yet, but unfortunately you loyal PC gamers are excluded from the fun yet again, as EA reportedly has stated that Severed will not be available on the PC. You know what, Max? I gotta say, I'm really sick of PC gamers getting the shaft.
You know, I could probably watch PC gamers get in the shaft for hours, as long as it was done tastefully and my girlfriend wasn't home.
Can we not have one show, Max, where you don't talk about your weird sexual habits? You know what? Go in the corner. You're grounded. In the meantime, why don't we check in on our Elder Scrolls watch with Maxwell Scoville, reporting live from the other side of this table.
Thank you, Tara. We've just gotten word from Bethesda on some of Skyrim's new combat system. Apparently, players will not be able to backpedal during fights as easily, so the hit-and-run tactic won't be as much of an option for the sissies. Additionally, holding up your shield like a frightened woman won't work during combat anymore. You'll have to time your shielding right in order to deflect blows. You will, however, be able to do a shield bash attack, which is pretty badass, and it's reported that arrows will be harder to find but will deal higher damage. Unfortunately, we have no new footage or graphics, so this is just the artist's depiction of the new combat system. For further news on Skyrim, stay tuned to Elder Scrolls Watch, updates every hour on the hour.
Thanks, Max. I've just received word that Sir Jonathan Holmes himself has given us the exclusive on a brand new teaser for episode 2 of his new series, Constructoid. Let's check it out.
We're back at the construction site for some constructive criticism for Nintendo to help them get the hardcore gamer back. Public perception today is that the 360 is the console that fits the attitude and interests of hardcore gamers the most, with the PS3 coming in a close second and the Wii a distant third. Like it or not, Nintendo is responsible for this vast chasm that they've built between them and the hardcore gamer. Here's how they could start to build a bridge across that chasm. For starters, the next Nintendo console needs to be a kick-ass piece of hardware. With the Wii, Nintendo has told the world that they don't think graphics matter. Yeah, but that was then. Today, gamers, game developers, game journalists, and Shia LaBeouf see Nintendo as the don't care about graphics guys, and that's never gonna be cool. I'm sure sweet Shia LaBeouf would change his tune if the Wii 2 had the most graphics per inch ever. Also, what about games? In Japan, Nintendo publishes a much broader variety of games, like the scary as hell Fatal Frame 4, the stupidly violent Zengeki no Region Leaf, the fantastic and beautiful Xenoblade, and the crass and hilarious Captain Rainbow, just to name a few. Those games really help Nintendo's image in Japan. But I feel like I'm dominating the conversation here. Parappa, what do you think of this whole thing?
All you ever need is to be nice and friendly.
What?
Slurp it, suck it, I know we all like it.
to talk about pirates for a second.
Ooh.
No, not that kind, Max. A much more serious threat, internet pirates. David Yarnton, the general manager for Nintendo UK, recently claimed that the Nintendo 3DS, which is only 2 short months away, has the most sophisticated anti-piracy software of any Nintendo console ever made. He went on to say that, quote, "We can't divulge any technical details, but needless to say, this is probably one of our best pieces of equipment in that respect. There are a lot of things we've learned over time to try and improve the security and protection." Let me just say this, Nintendo, where there's a will, there's a way. And if hacking a 3DS is what it takes for one dude to save $1,000 in games, it's gonna happen. He's gonna find a way to do it. I am totally with Jim Sterling on this one. I give it a month, at best.
Wait, they have pirates on the internet now?
On the internet.
Dear God.
Not just on the oceans anymore, Max. Nobody is safe. Nobody.
You should join us again on Friday when we'll have another episode of our fine television program for you, Destructoid.
Max Scoville, you got a really great rack.